Thank you, everyone. I hope you all can hear me. Thank you for spending time with us tonight. Thank you for, you know, all of our energy and our times are equally as important. And so deciding and allowing yourself to contribute here and hear what we got going on for humanity involved with human consciousness support is we appreciate that. And we feel like we're worth having that attention from you. So I just want to start off with telling everybody, thank you so much. We're going to keep on letting everybody into the room. The biggest out of all the big things that we have going on, the one big thing I want to do today with all of us is give you the time and the space to ask any questions at all. You're looking to me about the formula. So you can ask me any and all questions so that I can formally give you an answer and let you know what you are thinking, because there is the formula inconsistency. Some bottles will be completely clear, some will have a little bit of cloudiness to them when you charge them, and we're going to go over why that is.
Oh,
And
Mac,
we're
could
going
you
to
lower
go.
your mic down just a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I
Is
think
it better?
it's actually better
Is this
now.
okay?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you, brother.
Awesome. We're also going to go over, we are right now on the threshold of completely going global. And with that change, there is going to be a large mass of people that are coming to our website. As many of you know, when you first came onto the website and signed onto the website, if the affiliate link didn't register or whatever had happened, I know we fixed most, if not all, these kinks. But some people had headaches. You would have to email Matt Senna at help@MasterPeace by HCS and ask him, why can't I register? And when we're talking about helping out the world, and most people, when they would do something as simple as go to a website to order or look, if they cannot do it very quickly, they will leave. And that's one person's life that is going to have a lot more graphene oxide in their body, heavy metals. Our mission is to do the opposite of that. So we don't want people to leave if they don't have the affiliate link correct. But we also will implore that anybody that comes in to our system, someone gets credit for it. So we're going to go over how we're going to how our new system is going to work. It's not much different than ours, and so we are going to go over that. Now, also, we are going to spend a little bit of time announcing what we're very excited about, which is a third product that we will be bringing on within 2 months. It is an ancient superfood. I don't know if you realize this, but the food chain that's here on Earth is about 10,000 layers deep. And so the entire encompassing second layer of 10,000 of the food chain is this formula for minerals. And we're going to talk about that a little bit, why it's important. And the fact of the matter, we're going to go into some really interesting facts. The main one being your body has negative and positive charged things together. So you have positively charged minerals if you were not mineral deficient, which everybody on Earth basically is to a degree, unfortunately, in today's age. Or if you don't use minerals, you use heavy metals. So everybody uses heavy metals in replacement of their minerals. They have a stronger positive charge. They're obviously cyborgish, unnatural. They're obviously cause disruption and health problems in every single way. Everything about heavy metals is harmful to natural organisms, including you. Okay. So MasterPeace removes those heavy metals, which allow time and space for your body to finally uptake and start using organic minerals, bioavailable minerals, if they're available. And the formula of MasterPeace is, of course, 99% bioavailable minerals, but it's not enough for how much it's for what we need. We need a really perfect, broad spectrum, highly bioavailable mineral supplement that is affordable and that is provable on the highest levels to give you guys all the minerals you need. Because in our world, in our bodies, we're 99% water molecules, where the rest is almost all minerals. And getting all that into the body is going to perfect that electrical charge and bring us back to our most thriving good state. So we're going to go over that. The new formula, after we're going to cut to a quick video, but the new formula is going to taste saltier. It's going to be more electrically charged. It's going to have a better oxidative, lesser oxidative reduction potential. It is going to have a higher magnetic charge. It is going to have the same amount of clinoptilolite. It is far more effective, if you can believe that. It truly is. Everybody that's been beta testing this for a couple months, I'm yet to hear anybody that doesn't love it. So we're going to go over that. And then we're going to go over our new website page, because we are answering to everybody's questions, ideas, insights, concepts, because it takes you and all of us to do what we've got to get done here with this mission of raising consciousness and saving our world. Okay. And so we have these amazing, unprecedented medical studies that we've done proving that we reduce the levels of graphene oxide, heavy metals, aluminum, hydrogel, which is the mRNA delivery system. But what we want to do is make it available for all of you to be able to see, measure, and test your own specific results, and to get you a true expert, one that is the very first one to do hair testing in out of the European Union countries. He is a beautiful man, and I mean that from the inside out, obviously. He is an incredible person to for us to get to partner up with on this side of it. And we're going to be talking about how we are going to be bringing hair testing at an affordable cost available to everybody, where you can get a summary of your test and what it means as to not just the heavy metal toxic levels or load in your body, but also how well your body's holding minerals. So you can start to see the shift and the change. And that is a real big deal. So we all get to see our own health journey a lot more clear. And also, I guess we're going to be the only company out there, once again, who's not scared to face, to challenge our product, to allow people to see for themselves face to face the benefits, and if it's truly working or not, right? So we're going to do that. But real quick, okay, I got to tell you, not too often do we get good before videos of someone before their healing journey or their pets, and then an after video. And so I was very touched this morning. Anyone at Human Consciousness Support, with our 3 different testimonial pages on Facebook and Telegram, I believe Instagram, and we get to see these amazing testimonials come in every day. It's what drives us. I will speak for Dr. Robert O. Young right now. The guy calls me giddy when someone emails him in about their health and life, experiencing great benefits and things. I always get that phone call from him, and I know that all of us, when there's a really great testimonial coming in, we bring it in. And so I just wanted to start this a little bit different than normal. And I asked Matt before we started to tee this up and play. This is a before video of a cat that in 2020 had a brain tumor surgery. And this cat, because of it, was walking with its head tilted. Try to blow it up if you can, Matt. And so you can kind of see how this cat was. And if you could hear the woman's commentary in the video, she's like, "Oh, it's okay." And the cat, it takes the cat a really long time to get around. Really, the cat was, it's real hard for the cat to get around, swaying the whole time, very slow. And then if you can play the after video, and this is after almost 3 weeks of MasterPeace. And so what's beautiful is that we take two ingredients, which are basically the most commonly found ingredients in the world. You have ocean water, you have sea minerals, and then you purify it in a natural cold pressed way and structure it. And then you put it together with natural zeolite, which is lava that makes the ocean, which has surrounded in every natural zeolite bed in the world, everybody, the cleanest waters testable. So when you put those two beautiful natural ingredients together, what we're witnessing with over our 5,000 testimonials and with our medical clinical studies is unprecedented in the results and the benefits for everybody. So I tell you what.
I could do it with the sound. It kind of reveals it on the second video. You want to
Okay,
try that?
yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
thought I
okay.
was doing that.
Come on, oh, good boy. Look at Snowman going. You go, straight boy. Oh my God. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh.
So,
Yeah.
getting to witness and hear about people experiencing a higher quality of life is what this whole thing is about. And guys, we've all been here for a while. We see the trolls come in, we see the shills, we see the people who want to just say things but have no evidence or anything to back it. And when you look at their profiles, they basically made up the profile just to come in and, pretend to be a victim. And we're about to grow everybody globally. And we're about to see a continuation of the benefits and change that we've seen in the first 100,000 people. And so what we did was this. Robert O. Young, when he came aboard, the times that they've arrested Robert O. Young, they've come for his just like with Rife. Everybody, Rife had the best microscope in the world. When they came for him, they came for his microscope and his diagnostic equipment. Same thing with Robert O. Young. He went to his storage where he had kept his nano diagnostic equipment for a while, and he pulled it out and he put his expertise onto the MasterPeace formula so that it would match and be harmonizable to its fullest potential to a perfectly healthy human being. And so he looked at the formula and decided that it needed a higher salt concentration, C plasma, which would increase the electrical charge to what a healthy human being would have probably been 100 to 150 years ago, which is negative 115 millivolts. And again, guys, everything we're going to go over today, this is being recorded. I suggest you go back, read it. I am a science guy. I'm self-taught, but I'm a logical thinker. I'm a practical thinker. I don't go by woo-woo and new agey kind of stuff. I don't disbelieve. I think it has a lot of validity, but I have to live in a world that I can prove because of what MasterPeace is doing to so many products, so many protocols, over-the-counter non-prescription drugs, big pharma. I have to keep to the science. And what we needed was a little more electrical charge. We needed less oxidative reduction potential. And we wanted to increase the magnetic, the zeta potential, so that we could magnetically, we could move into the body quicker, be recognized as the body as even safer. We put the pH, which made all the difference in the world, at a perfect 8.365, which is identical to the ocean inside of your body, which makes up most of your body, which is the interstitial fluid or the interstitium, or what the German medicine doctors call the collective connective tissue of the Schab. And so when we did that, the formula has a saltier taste. It's a bolder taste. This product is so much more effective when everybody's going to know it when it comes out in about 2 or 3 weeks. Of course, we're not going to charge more because none of this was ever put together for anything like that. This has always been a labor of love for humanity and for all of you and for all of your kids and for all of our kids' kids in the future. And we're moving in, to this day, a good man is worth his salt, right? You've heard that saying, right? And many of salt's, include many of salt's applications, right? Including the salting of fish and meat to preserve it, right? That's remained almost unchanged down through millennia. Its place in our superstitions and sayings remain entrenched and really enshrined in the world's many cultures out there, and a vital part of the economies. Salt is as essential to life in a lot of these small countries as the air they breathe and the water they drink. Salt is the second most commonly found thing inside of your body next to water. How important is that? Surely there can be no product pure, when we are structuring a perfect balanced mineral water and simply taking small enough, reduced down to a nano size, natural clinoptilolite zeolite mineral. And all we do is take that mineral and combine it with the structured, high salt content seawater. We are talking about, pure salt water provided and evaporated by nature. Where we're getting it, it is evaporated long enough to give it a higher sodium content, which gives it a higher electrical charge. Even more so, quite a bit, guys, believe it or not. It takes an Octon pH 250 volt EMF, electrical, magnetic, electromagnetic. It says the ORP. It's a device that costs about $700. That's how you would test it. I love it because me and my family can pee on it and it can tell me my electrical charge. So it's a great device to have if you ever want to do it. But it has what's called a 30% sodium concentration in this sea plasma, which is more so than any other place found in the world where we harvest it from. Because the FDA wanted to see $70,000 of our marine plasma, and we didn't know, we thought that they had cut off our supply line. It forced us into a silent mode of looking for any and all other options. Of course, we were looking for options. And then we actually found a few options that were comparable to marine plasma. And then we found the sea minerals where we got. We're learning things the hard way here at Human Consciousness Support. And so you better believe we're not going to tell everybody where we get this stuff from, because we don't want to have to go. We're lucky this time because humanity's lucky this time. We're all lucky because this formula is about to go into a supercharge upgrade that everybody's going to notice across the table. But if they found out this supplier, then the next option is not going to be as good, which means the product would suffer, and that's not what we want to. We don't want to face that. we need to know, as we are putting ourselves on the line and putting everything on the line, that we're bringing out the best, no holds barred. So, you know, this environment, making salt, evaporating seawater to make salt, that's how you do it. That's been going on for a long time. They've been doing it in open pans, and a guy, I don't know his name, Mark something, but he wrote a book not too long ago. It's called Salt, A World History, I believe. But I know the guy was saying something about 450 BC, and he had the evidence. The Chinese believe they had made salt by boiling brine in iron pans. And it's an innovation which would become one of the leading techniques for salt for the next 2,000 years. Lately, though, they've been doing it in closed vessels with rapid boiling. And that rapid boiling, heating it up, obviously kills any life force in it. It hurts the charge immensely. It takes down the charge almost all the way. So it removes the life force, which is the electrons, which is the energy, which is what happens when you cook food or anything else, correct? And so that's how salt is made nowadays, but not where we get our sea plasma from. Okay. In any way that it can be diagnostically looked at or rated, it is absolutely the best mineral cell salt that is in the world, period. No one can produce any type of analysis that matches this stuff. It actually, and I'm not even going to get into the area. But it has a big combination of runoff. It is the ocean water that is now in a Dead Sea. It's pretty amazing all the things that have happened to make this stuff, why it is so salty and so electrically charged. Beds like this in the Dead Sea, if people want to go there and submerge in them, they pay thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars just to wade in the stuff for a few hours. So it's pretty amazing. But from what we found, we now have a colloidal sea salt, which is, produced, and we're going to feed the world with this because it cleans out the toxins and replaces the minerals in the very best way possible. So, I don't know if you guys realize this, but you have about 1 pound of salt in your body. Almost the entire rest is water molecules, but you got about 450 grams, which is right at a pound. And so you need a lot of very healthy bioavailable salt every day to replace in your bodies. The smaller amount, the more dehydrated you get, the more you are actually, your electrical charge goes down. Salt, mineral, it alkalines, all minerals alkaline, okay? So as you don't have salt, your alkalinity goes down. Now your body's out of balance and goes into all types of stress responses, okay? So what we are dealing with now is a MasterPeace Zeolite Z colloidal mineral sea salt formula. And we have an 8 people ongoing autistic child study going on in West Malaysia. We are gratefully getting to donate bottles of MasterPeace into the country of Peru. They cannot afford MasterPeace. They couldn't if they worked all month. So they have been tremendously harmed by all kinds of things since 2020. And so we were grateful that we got the opportunity, that we were reached out to by one of Peru's mightiest humanitarians. And we are doing our best to donate to them. We are very, very soonly going to be gratefully, with big hearts, giving to our beloved Cherokee Native American associate tribe here in America and their children that need MasterPeace more than ever. We are doing everything we can with what's coming in to decentralize, protect this thing, and grow this thing So, our formula inconsistencies and the cloudiness. All right, check this out, everybody. When you MasterPeace, this is how easy it is. We take structured, highest quality C plasma in the world, okay? And then we take the highest quality zeolite clinoptilolite, which is in a fine powder, a micronized powder, which means it's in a micrometer size, which means micrometer is small enough that you can't see with your naked eye. So you wouldn't be able to see one particle of the powder with it. But we take that and we reduce it down thousands of times from there so that it's nanometer size, meaning the zeolite is small enough to go everywhere in the body, get up into every single cell that has magnetically trapped toxins inside of it, which are all positively charged. Look at every heavy metal, graphene oxide especially, microplastics, they have positive magnetic charges, okay? So when you have the clinoptilolite, fluoride is not positively charged. I know fluoride isn't. Fluoride's an exception. But
MasterPeace still picks it up.
yeah, we've already proven that we get fluoride because it's a chelator and a binder. So yeah.
But when you add the minerals,
totally.
It makes it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So when we make the zeolite down to a nanometer size, you can't see it. Now, when we're taking the micrometer sized zeolite down to a nanometer size, not all of it goes down to a nanometer size. Some of it only goes down halfway. When we're dissolving it down, some of it doesn't get all the way small enough. When you are getting a bottle that has some of the zeolite that isn't dissolved down, you will be able to tap it, look at it. It will look a little cloudy, stuff like that. But no matter what bottle anybody ever has, the same amount of zeolite that if this is a big vat, we picture a big vat, picture a big old 55-gallon jug of MasterPeace. The nanometer sized clinoptilolite floats evenly with the C minerals. It's in there. So every single last bottle that anybody has ever gotten, when we test it and we looked at it, it always has right around 11 to 1200 micrograms, 1100 to 1200 micrograms of 1100 to 1250. But anyways, micrograms of the clinoptilolite. We reverse engineered, clean slate. That was the first thing the lab did when they were perfecting on top of clean slate. They took that formula and it's been perfected upon 100 times over. Anybody, and that product's $20 some more expensive, but it has 135 grams of clinoptilolite in it. It has 135. Okay, now that's per dose, per 10 drops. I'm sorry, 135 grams per 10 drops. We have 1200 at a more specific, better put range. And I can promise you one thing. We got our full COA. I guarantee you our clinoptilolite is much higher quality than anybody out there that's using theirs. They could only be using the same supplier, which means they would also be using the best. So we're using the best. We by far have the most. And yes, you're going to see some of it in the bottle sometimes. Okay. Now, if you have a bottle that has been formulated and dispensed about 3 to 4 months or later, so if it was made and it gets put together and it doesn't, mercury goes down very far. Mercury is a positively charged metal. there's absolutely no reason why mercury wouldn't be removed by any negatively charged detox product if it was small enough to find the mercury. But when we so I'm sorry, golf track. So the cloudiness is you getting extra clinoptilolite. That's all it is. It's you getting extra, a little bit bigger clinoptilolite, which just helps a little bit more. That's all it is. The wispies, the clear things that anybody sees after 3 or 4 months, that is nanometer sized clinoptilolite, stuff that's fully dissolved. Now remember these words, look it up, which re-agglomerate, or in layman's terms, reclump, and you will begin to see those. Okay. So MasterPeace for pets, we are excited to be bringing out. Our system, which is driven by big pharma lobbyists and Blackguard ran companies, are not on the side of MasterPeace. Go figure, right? So we're not going to be able to go on Walmart shelf or Costco shelf anytime soon, or get the support from being able. We're not going to be able to advertise on CBS, no matter how much amazing, undeniable medical studies we produce, right? So we have 2 different platforms that we're coming out. One is Shopley, and that is a billion-dollar corporation, the only one in the world that has its own bank and its own influencers, and they are going to be helping us get MasterPeace. We're one of their beta vendors. We're very excited about that. The other one is with a very, very competent marketing company, because we need to breach the masses. Everybody on this phone call, you're all truthers. I don't want to say conspiracy theorists, conspiracy finders, outers. I don't know, but we're all people a lot more health aware. That's why you know about zeolites. That's why you're researching it. That's why you're spending your time at a place like this. You're one of the like 0.5%. That's not gonna change the world. You guys are already changing yourselves and doing it too. So what we have to do is get out to the 99% of the world. So we have to use those marketing companies and techniques. So although up till now we've spent all of our money gathering evidence and doing studies that no other company will do and wants to do, obviously, and but now we need to get this out to the 4 corners. So we're doing it with that company, but MasterPeace is going to be available to the world for everybody's pets, because people, the 99%, a lot of them don't understand. They think like what an animal takes, like you can't take because it'll hurt you, or like what you take isn't meant for animals, so they can't take it. Now MasterPeace for pets is, we did all the investigating, used all of our experience and wisdom, and we had decided that what's going to work best for our pets is actually the identical formula that's good for humans. So we do have a MasterPeace for pets. It is $52.99, which is the same price as the MasterPeace. It is the identical formula, but it is labeled in a way so that you can understand it for pets. You know that when you take it for people, you don't need to take more than 10 drops a day to get the benefits that you can expect to get from reading the results from our quantifiable study. But with our pets, they don't need nearly as much. So we like to explain it on the label. It's 1 drop for every 10 pounds. Stop at like 8 drops. I can't remember the exact wording. MasterPeace for pets is available in all countries, including all North American countries like America, Canada, Mexico. And it's available for purchase now. It is the new formula. So, and the new formula has the same pH. It had close to the same electrical charge, but this one is, the new formula is perfected. Definitely. But MasterPeace for pets is already run with the new formula, so it's ready to go. It's ready for ordering right now on the website, and we are ecstatic about it. All right, so here's the dilemma. We got the most amazing thoroughbreds, the most amazing people here on our team. All of you, talking to all of you right now. Okay. Just the fact you're putting your time and energy into contributing here and learning more speaks volumes. We want a system here that is better in every single way, and a product that performs better in every single way than anything that's been done before. And so we now have to get the word out using big magazines, large commercial stuff, all different types of PR announcements with the medical studies. And when we do that, people are going to start just randomly searching MasterPeace. And when they randomly search MasterPeace, they are going to go to the website. As everybody basically here knows, when you go to the website, if you're not logged in, it tells you got to log in. It has a pop-up. The pop-up says you can't order without an affiliate link. Okay, I want you to imagine that our mission is to get MasterPeace into as many people as possible before they crank up this graphene biosystem and before the world gets too much polluted. Now, when people go to our website, they are going to, if they don't have an affiliate link right now, then 90% of people get fed up and leave. Now, the people that maybe found us from a great show like SGT Report or Crow or Project Camelot or on and on and on, anywhere they've seen Robert, wherever, those people know inherently watching that show, something inside of them tells them, I got to get this stuff. And so they will turn around and find an email on the website and go through all this stuff to be able to get a hold of Matt, get a hold of our team, and get the right affiliate link, right? Okay, well, if we're trying to get this into millions and billions of our kids and our people, right? And we know that these slugs and these people that have no energy and have no attention span, if they go onto our website, they're going to jump right off. Okay, so here's what we're doing, everybody. Also, we're keeping the price the same for anyone in our affiliate system. And we have many white label partners. We have 7 of them right now and more coming aboard that have MasterPeace underneath their own company. They put their label on it with our MasterPeace product and our MasterPeace formula. And it is identical because I make it. Now, if someone's in another country, in the UK, for instance, and if they can order MasterPeace for the same price and they get their shipment in 3 days sooner, but then they don't order from us where the person they signed up from and found out about MasterPeace from doesn't get the credit, then what happens is people start to drift from human consciousness support, buy from these other places, and then our system is not being able to give back and reciprocate the way that it's meant to, because which is a grassroots system. We're not an MLM. We could not be defined as an MLM. Anybody defining us as an MLM is ignorant to the definition and is saying it wrong. We are e-commerce direct sales. Whoever you found out about MasterPeace by human consciousness support up to this point, when you order, they get 25%. The person that brought them on gets 5%. And that has happened every single order that's ever come in. It stops there. It doesn't go to the 3rd person, which you don't even know who it is. It doesn't go to the 4th person, which you have no idea who it is, and all that crap. It doesn't do that. That's an MLM. Now, when we got a mass marketing global takeover strategy, because if we can get MasterPeace without raising the price, which we're not the way and I'll explain it. In the end, we're not raising it 1 cent. But if we can get MasterPeace into every person out there, not only does the graphene biosystem not work, as we have proven with test subjects, which I'll talk about in a little bit, not only does this several decades long plan using their gain of function labs and trillions of dollars and their highest level of resources for their agenda, none of that works without graphene oxide in the people's systems. So coincidentally, what MasterPeace removes out of everything we've ever tested more effectively than the rest is the graphene oxide levels. So
That leads into a
Klaus,
question that somebody had a while ago in the chat. Does that work?
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Matt, I'd like to know if our products will remove the live self-assembling nanobots injected in humans via the COVID shots.
Totally. Okay. So it's not just the COVID shots, but yes, the COVID shots too. Everybody here, guess what? Do this. You're going to love this. Go down to your local CVS, Dollar General, Walmart, whatever store you go to the skincare products, skin lotions, go to your deodorant, go into your shampoo, your liquid soaps. Okay. Look in the ingredients, all the unnatural ingredients, you know that. So, but look in that. And I want you to go find some stuff that sounds like polyethylene glycol, polyethylene glycerine, polyethanol. You'll see it. And then you'll also see EDTA. Okay. My point is the mRNA delivery system, the nanobots. When someone says nanobots, when someone says graphene construction sites, when someone says spike protein problems brought on by the mRNA delivery system or nefarious nanotechnology, here's the system, guys. Here it is. You have a graphene oxide amount, a big block of it, okay? They wrap it in polyethylene glycol, which is hydrogel, which is stacked on top, layered with EDTA. EDTA is in the mRNA, is required and critical to the mRNA delivery system. If it's not in there, it's not protected, and the body will get rid of it before it can get to the place that it needs to go to. It carries it better. It protects it better.
It's a preservative after all.
Yes.
Made out of preservatives. Synthetics.
Yes. Formaldehyde, cyanide, but then you have a nucleic acid tag, like aborted fetal cells, like kidney cells and things. And those the tags tells it which organ to go for. So, when you take your prescription medication and it just happens to know to go to your head or go to your heart or go to your whatever, that's the only reason why their sick Frankenstein stuff knows where to go is because of nucleic acid tags. It puts a little marker on it. So when it stops at there, just like the laundromat, click, okay, this is where it stops. All right. That's in all of your products, your hygiene products. Go look. They're all BlackRock owned. If you go to we all know that. When we go there, look, you'll see the mRNA delivery system. It'll tell you EDTA, polyethylene glycol. It doesn't have a nucleic acid tag because it can't get directed to a specific organ, else they can't do that. Not in their hygiene products. So they couldn't explain why they would do that. That's the only reason. What we're going to do, there's about to be millions and millions and millions of people worldwide that are going to be finding out about MasterPeace, that are going to be ordering MasterPeace. A lot of these people, Matt Senna could not handle 1,500 emails a day. I need an affiliate link. Hey, I tried to go on the site. I seen this article and I love you on Health Journal, and I tried to go there. So when people go to the site, they got to be able to accept the terms and conditions and then order. So we're going to have that system figured out. Now, if they do that and they don't have an affiliate link, they're going to pay more money. They're going to pay whatever it's going to be, $57.99. Guess what? Every white label partner out there that is buying MasterPeace from us, they're going to have to charge their people $57.99. So will it benefit you and the person who told you about MasterPeace for you to buy it from us for $52.99? the mothership, so that people also get 30% of that instead of the company? Yes. So we're going to be putting that system in place. We're doing that because we know then the people, as soon as they come aboard at $57.99 from this organic mass media stuff that we're doing, then all of a sudden they're going to want to find a link, which is going to be one of your guys' links, right? So however it works out, they're going to be at that point. Well, they say that, but I can tell you, they can say that about EDTA, or we can say anything we want. I can tell you I have 3 arms and a full head of hair, but I promise you it does not mean it's true. EDTA stands for ethylene, diamine, tetraacetic acid. If you look up the 3 ingredients that makes it, the 3 ingredients that they mix with water, it is cyanide, formaldehyde, and acid. So I want you to picture cyanide, formaldehyde, and acid. Those are the only 3 ingredients they put with water. And then tell me how to concoct that so it's not poison. Now, EDTA, here's a fun fact for everybody if you don't know, okay? It has only been approved since 2020 when it was approved with the EUA, which is the same thing that the COVID vaccination was. It's called an emergency use authorization. The reason why EDTA was approved as an emergency use authorization is because it's in the mRNA delivery system. Number one, it's in the COVID jab. It's in the mRNA delivery system. No matter if it's Pfizer's, BioNTech's, it doesn't matter if it's a lipid or a peptide delivery system, nucleic tag. They all need EDTA to work properly. That's why it's layered, stacked in there. You got to do your research. Do your research and you'll see this for yourself. We've posted videos on it. We've posted links. We've posted all of the research on our social media sites. We've made it very accessible for people to learn the truth.
And of course, everyone that says something bad about MasterPeace, either they are, or it can be traced back. What they're referencing can be traced back to somebody pumping EDTA
yes, always,
out of warehouses
always,
and into veins.
Always. Let me ask you a question,
hard,
everybody.
Yeah.
EDTA became more affordable for people when they could order it from different people that I respect. I don't think they're fully aware of EDTA. I don't want to say names. I just don't want to say those names, okay? But normal EDTA, everybody, such as with Dr. Anna Mahalcia, or with Rhea from Long Haulers or No More Silence, go on their website. Tell them you are harmed by a jab or something. They will tell you what to do next. They will say, come to my office. Let me take your blood. Let's look at that first. That only costs $100, $150. Then when they look at it, guess what? You and the last 100% of people since 2021, unfortunately, we all have graphene. So you have graphene. They see the graphene. They point it out to you, and then they tell you the protocol. The protocol involves you coming back every 3-4 weeks to get intravenous EDTA, unnatural, in your veins, EDTA, intravenous vitamin C, ozoning your blood, which that is healthy, and all these other things. And guess what? You got to drive to their office, get hooked up for sound, and you got to do it for most of the day and spend $1,500 to $2,000. So let me ask you a question. If you had a practice such as Dr. Anna Mahalcia that required people to get that type of invasiveness into their body, that type of time, that type of money, what would you do as a collective group if something that was $52.99 came along and they actually did the work? They did the studies. They got the cold, hard proof. That's what we did. We took people's blood and did the levels by a third-party lab testing. Think about that. We didn't go on the attack with these companies. All these companies that were doing EDTA, all these alternative medicine practitioners that have been lying to you and telling you that EDTA is natural. Why would they ever think something like that was even close to natural? Ask yourself how natural formaldehyde or cyanide is. Okay? So they've been spinning that narrative and making out like bandits. When they came after us with no evidence, with pure rhetoric with microscope images, just saying that it's MasterPeace, just saying that it's doing something and just getting you to believe it, and nothing else. You can kind of see why they came from where they came from. And we need to use our time, energy, and focus, even this call, to move on from this, because
right,
we have a world to change.
Get some other questions then?
Yeah, but I just want to let you know, you guys are going to see very soon on the website where, yes, anybody's just going to be able to accept terms and conditions and join up for and then buy for $57.99. But the only reason is because they're outsiders coming from the mainstream, and we're just happy that they found MasterPeace, and we expect them to start watching some shows, start talking to people on some chats, and start getting an affiliate link, because everybody would rather spend $5 less, right? And then go ahead, Matt. Yeah.
Someone taking an iron supplement, will MasterPeace remove the iron from the body? I mean, it depends on the iron supplement.
Yeah,
but I just recommended on the chat, take it 60 minutes away from that, just because we want it to work on its own best. I mean,
can tell you, if it's organic iron, it's not going to touch that, because organic iron is going to have a much less positive charge. The more organic anything gets, the less of a charge it starts holding. And so, unnatural stuff has a stronger positive charge, and zeolite has an affinity. It is drawn to the highest positively charged thing. So if the iron is crap iron and it has a higher positive charge, yeah, the zeolite, you want it to get that iron. But if your supplement's a good supplement and it's highly bioavailable and it's working for you, it's a healthy mineral, truly is a healthy mineral, then zeolite's not going to touch it. And there's never been one single study out of thousands that show that it grabs healthy minerals. That's a full-blown lie. If anybody's heard that anywhere, go to PubMed and do your research.
Yeah, which is really amazing, and I wish people knew that. Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between like nail filings and plant food. Just for a dark joke. So about nursing mothers. Hello, is it safe for nursing mom and baby? And then a similar question is, how many drops should I give to a 3 and a 5-year-old?
If you're having to do this on a budget, a child taking 3 to 5 drops is plenty. You're going to expect to get much more out than what's coming in.
Sorry, is that total in a day?
Yeah.
You said much more out than coming in terms of poison.
The amount of toxins, yeah.
3 to 5 drops total in a day.
Yeah. Matt, what we should do, I just thought of this, make this available to people. We should take our the trademark, the process. So whenever you patent something, if you have something unnatural, you could patent an ingredient per se. Obviously, we don't have unnatural. We only have natural clinoptilolite and seawater, purified seawater, in MasterPeace. So, but we can patent the formulation process, how to make it process. And that's what we've done, because we didn't want someone evil that was trying to destroy the product or the credibility of it to come in and start making a copycat and all the little weird tricks that happens out there when a group like us is trying to change the world, and the bad guys pick up on it, right? So we were trying to plan ahead, think ahead. But bottom line is, we should make that available to people so that people can see how MasterPeace is made, because we didn't do this to hoard this. I'm still in a 20-year-old camper, everybody. Ain't nothing too much about me has changed. But this was just a labor of love, and everybody around MasterPeace is just grateful to get to help and contribute. So we could easily show that to everybody so that they can see how beautiful and natural of a process it is, because it seems like when people are, is this okay for this? Is this okay for that? And I understand all the programming and conditioning we've all been dealt with to worry about, but these are natural things, 2 natural ingredients that have never under any circumstances been proven to be harmful. If you make isotonic, which means you dilute down with healthy distilled water or reverse osmosis water. If you take seawater and dilute it down so it's isotonic, the same as your body, if you drink that, you're only drinking back what you're made of. So you know how when they say you drink ocean water too much, you die if you're stuck at sea? But that's after you've already started to become dehydrated. It's a whole nother story. You're talking about very, very natural ingredients that have never on any level been shown to be harmful. And I think sometimes people think with MasterPeace that there's some big manipulation process of these ingredients and things to change or alter anything. No, we actually mimic Mother Nature. When the Earth, which is an electromagnetic field, okay, when it starts getting too distressed and it gets a fever, what does it do? It releases the fever. What do we do when we release a fever? We sweat and we push it out, right? We break our fever. Well, Mother Earth shoots off a volcano. Guess what happens when your body hits a fever? A lot of that stuff doesn't just go out of your water, your skin, sorry. It goes into your interstitial fluid. It pushes out from your blood. It pushes the toxins to your body ocean. Your body, when it's having a fever, pushes the toxin, the things out to the body ocean. When Earth is, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to collide with anybody's beliefs. When our Earth, which is an electromagnetic field, is under stress, you only will see stress on Earth before a volcano. It doesn't just happen. There's signs. So the volcano goes off. And then when the lava goes into the ocean water, the world's body ocean, you have the most amazing, highly negatively magnetically charged, the most magnetic, negatively charged compound that we know of on Earth. It's a mineral called zeolite. And so, putting those two ingredients together, what we do is we basically mimic that process, and we're going to make it available. I'm going to make it available because it doesn't matter anyway. And then people can read it if they want to take the time to read 3 pages and see for themselves how it's made. I think it's time for that anyways. So, guess what, everybody? We have in 1.5 weeks, we are pulling the final test results for the blood and D-dimer test for our ongoing study that we've had going on for a while. The urinalysis testing for all heavy metals, the hair testing for all heavy metals and mineral stuff that's on the hair test tube. And so guess what? Everybody was saying, remember how everybody for a long time was saying, we want to know the lab that you're getting the graphene oxide, the glyphosate, the fluoride. Everybody was asking that. And our answer was always, we can't wait to tell you the lab name, but first we need to get these studies done. Why? Because if a lab is giving do-gooders like us test results that we're using to prove the solution to the pollution, to the deep state's plan, which control and can pressure any lab, any company, any entity, we said we need to get the studies done first. Okay, so we actually never broke that promise, but when we published our peer-reviewed paper, and that was published through ACTA, going over our clinical trial, our initial pilot study, we had to say the lab. We had to provide the lab name on that study. The reason is because if we didn't, there wouldn't be any credibility to the study. So we had to, unfortunately, we didn't know it at the time, but we had to release the results. When we did that, the lab name, which was IGL Labs, which was the most cutting edge, leading edge lab in the world with technology that nobody else even had. Everybody knows German technology, German engineering, right? Weren't they the guys with the bells that, during World War II? I mean, come on. So they're reverse engineering kings.
All right. A lot of the alt health technology coming out of Germany is really the only alt health like tech that I own.
So here was the problem. It was I don't know what happened, but the same week that we released our published paper, that it was published. That we sent it up to the publisher, which then goes out to, it starts getting out to some experts, about 50, 100 of them. So now it's starting to get into some people that probably know the wrong people and stuff like that sometimes. That same week, the IGL lab announced that the levels of the environmental toxins were getting out of hand, that it was showing up in human bodies at a high rate, at a risky rate. And they then explained in their article why that they're sending up for peer review and publishing on the importance of their intracellular, inside the cell, electrical capacity test, which was the most leading edge technology on the world. And when they did that, the next week, number one, the doctors that were on, there was a large group of doctors on their way to Brazil, to functional medicine doctors, different experts that were going to explain why the mRNA delivery system was responsible for things like the turbo cancers and whatnot. And they actually redirected 4 of those flights going to Brazil on the one flight and downed it and killed several of the doctors, which obviously would scare the rest of them back into hiding. That same week, the founder of IGL Labs, the creator of IGL Labs, the operations manager, so the guy that still was running the show and created it, Stefan something or another, we have his, but you can put the name in the chat if you want to, Matt. It's no big deal. So everybody could research it if they want, if you can find it easy.
Shoot, I'm just handling
no,
too
you're
many
okay.
things
You're
at
okay.
once.
You're okay. That gentleman, which it starts off STEFAN, out of I as in igloo, G as in go, L as in Larry, IGO Labs in Germany. The founder operations manager fell deathly ill. He fell deathly ill, and 2 nights later in his sleep, he died. They immediately made a gigantic announcement. This will all be in the published peer-reviewed study of ours, because we still have blood tests showing regular markers. We still have hair tests. We still have urinalysis tests. We just don't have the final on the other levels. And I actually paid a detective agency $3,000 in Germany and had them go up to IGO Labs, who had shut down. They shut their doors down. They shut everything down. And then 2 days later, they sent up an email and said that they were all shut down until October 15th because of this death, and that they were going to have to restructure everything, and they were going to get back to everybody. And then a few days after that, they said they were going to reopen on October 15th, like they said. But out of the 15 separate different types of testing that they performed there, the one test they were not going to ever have again was the IEC test. And so our most cautious worry that we had the whole time, the big secret that we kept, as soon as it got out of the bag, the guy passed. And so, and I had the detective agencies offer them an offer, because MasterPeace, we have put $200,000 into the study. We have invested all of our money into the study. Not all of our money. We're just fine. But all the extra money that was coming in, it was going for a study, because it was like $50,000 a month. So everybody was taking less as we were getting the study paid for. And but on a really bright note, if anybody here, hopefully more than half of you, have seen the Blue Truth documentary, where they proven that people, now they only took people that had been COVID jabbed or PCR tests, but they proved that people had MAC addresses, identifying addresses like your phone does, like your computer does. And the Blue Truth documentary showed that even after people were dead in the graveyard, they were still emitting MAC addresses. Well, we have taken only three of our 24 test subjects into the field, which has been done by Carolyn Mansfield. It's okay to say. And we have video footage of them, and none of them have MAC addresses. Out of the 3 that we've tested, we're going to be pulling in all 24 test subjects for that. And we're very excited to be talking about how we have an unprecedented documentary coming up, dovetailing into that, which is going to be in our next study. And our next study is real clear, everybody, that we're doing. Human consciousness support. We were excited to be the first and only place to prove, absolutely prove, that graphene oxide exists in people's body. And the reason why I say that is this. If you look at blood and you see something that you think is graphene oxide, you know that graphene oxide looks a lot like salt underneath a magnification of 400 to 1600. 400 to 1600 magnification is what you will see in a high quality, high end, dark field microscope. People like Maria Chrysler, Dr. Anna Mahalsia, Ria, several others. None of them have an electron microscope, a STEM, a scanning transmission electron microscope. None of them. Why? Because it costs $1 million. That's why. The reason why they have a dark field, which is great, it's a very high-powered microscope for what's out there. It's a lot better than the Hobby Lobby version, but it only goes down to 1600 magnification. And what that really means is it can only go down to about 700 nanometers. A red blood cell is 8 micrometers, which is 1,000 times bigger than that. It's many, 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 many times bigger than that. It's thousands of times bigger than what you would call nano anything. So when people are talking about nanobots and they're looking underneath their microscope and making a video of it, and they're saying they're an expert and they're saying it's nanobots and they're saying this or this, you have to know their microscope can't see nano. It can't get down to 100 nanometers, 200 nanometers. The nano world, which means the intracellular, the intercellular world, is a world that can only be seen when it's 150 nanometers and smaller. So that's evil. That's why the deep state and that's why that they love nano. Why? Because a $5,000 and $10,000 microscope can't see nano, can't analyze nano. It can see specks of nano, but that doesn't mean you can understand it, right? If I'm in a plane and I can barely see a BB of a bunch of people, that doesn't mean I can make out your eyes. I can see what's happening to your body. Okay. So
yeah, can I just go back over kind of what you just said to emphasize some of the points? People who get a lot of views, a lot of these people, unfortunately, that I'm referencing right now are talking incorrect about ZLA without any evidence. They're just using this microscope that can't see nano. Straight up.
And not explaining any of that, you know.
Yeah, is that kind of what you're saying, Matt?
Yeah, they use sultry voices and it's really pretty sad. And but anyway, so we have no problem. I totally get it. So we have a documentary where we are going to go over how it's going to be about a few different things. The actual levels of environmental toxins that are found in air quality tests, in soil samples, and in water samples, the water tables. Like when people are putting in wells and they test the water to see how clean it is, we got those tests too. So we're going to go over the real state of affairs in it. We're going to have people like David Icke, Carolyn Mansfield, Robert Young. Anybody wanting to say anything about David Icke? I will tell you, I personally know the gentleman, and he is not rich. He has, for 3 decades now, talked about graphene oxide, everybody. Go back 25 years. The dude's been talking about graphene oxide, black goo from the X-Files forever. What do you think graphene oxide is in the body? Black goo that's paramagnetic. It's identical to it. So he has been connecting the dots for people, no matter if they try to say he's a reptilian or not, all this weird stuff. But I can tell you he's putting it all on the line. He will be involved in it. This will be, we will be showing many people's stories that have MAC addresses. And we will be then getting MasterPeace into them, and we'll have a conclusion as to showing people how for $1 a day, a little more than $1 a day, they can get all the various poisons from chemicals out of the. I will tell you, everybody. Hey, gosh, I don't. Hold on, let me think if I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. You wouldn't. Okay. I watched 2 shows that he was doing with a lady on Sherry, who's with us, and she does a show called The Right to Know. Beautiful, cool show. And during those shows, this was in the last 4 months. Both shows he had to stop mid-interview because he had so much coughing, which is hypoxia, which is when you're not getting enough oxygen, and he would be like, and he couldn't catch his breath to the point where then he just had to stop the interview. Within 1 week of taking MasterPeace, his entire cough was gone. How about that? David, I could give that testimony. I know because I talked to his wife. And because I brought up that Robert Young, who had seen one time because he was on the call with us, was worried about it. And yet she said, it's really funny after we started MasterPeace. So I guess David Icke has been bringing up MasterPeace a little bit. And anyways, he's already agreed to this documentary because the person doing the documentary has done documentaries with one documentary, almost 1 billion views, I believe, or maybe 1 billion views, and several very high-end documentaries. So like about 10 of them. And this person is absolutely taking it on for free. Why? Because a bunch of us have been putting ourselves out there for groups, goodwill causes, charities. It could be religious places before we think we were helping people, right? And so we've all been doing that. And so have these people. So when we see something like this, where people that are taking MasterPeace are sleeping better, feeling better, dreaming better, becoming critical thinkers better, more in the present moment, men that are acting like men. And we start getting that across the board, and they see the difference, and they're coming aboard. So now we ain't just got them. Guess what? We got the #1 hair test too, because way at the very beginning of MasterPeace, so I'm going to move on from the documentary. So that's great.
Yeah, you mentioned the hair test a little bit, but we can definitely go more into it.
Yeah,
thanks.
It's going to be, totally. So the documentary is going to be 2 or 3 parts, segmenting into one, and it has all the possibilities of being the biggest documentary ever to be done for humanity, and it's going to be a labor of love for humanity. All right, more good news. Okay, right when we started doing MasterPeace, which was like last July 2023, we were wanting to immediately find ways to prove the efficacy and the actual like ironclad proof, truth, evidence, right? Analysis. Not just a talking head doctor claiming one thing or another. We wanted to, in every way, we got weird things like, provable, very provable things, by the way, like crystallography. We did anything. We didn't just stop at dark field microscopy and say, look, the stuff's pretty, isn't this great? Now let's sell the pretty stuff. That's what a lot of companies do. They show their product underneath a microscope, and they tell you how it's clean and that it's doing good stuff. And if you believe it, and you buy it, and that's what they hope. We've always been going after the evidence. What we were going to do was provide hair test kits so that people, and at the time, Walmart had hair test kits that anybody could buy. And so we'd even started making the page for it on our original website, because if you have a product that works, wouldn't you want people to be able to find out for themselves that it's working? So we wanted to produce hair tests. Wonder why nobody else does that. Nobody else does that, by the way, guys. Why isn't anybody else thinking like this? If everybody's got these great products, why isn't anybody thinking about proving them? Why is everybody doing nothing but putting their time, energy, and focus into their marketing, right? Every dollar we did over the first year was all about studies that have never been done before. People should see that intention and see what it means and what it's for, So, and if you look actually at the ingredients and everything MasterPeace is, and you put it lined up, not just with other nanozeolite companies, but with other what other products claim to do. If for what people would experience from taking a bottle of MasterPeace, couldn't we charge whatever we wanted to if that's how we were thinking? Why did we turn around and make it the lessest cost thing that we could and make it the most affordable? Why? Because it's for all of humanity, not just the people here that won the lottery, but for all of us, right? Okay. We found the best expert, the best analyzer, the longest running company who is on MasterPeace, who has tested MasterPeace to the very highest of his ability. And his name is Will Houghton. Used to be with Clean Slate, working with Clean Slate and other places. They didn't want him working. As soon as he started with them, they didn't want to work with him. And he can, if he ever wants to tell anybody why, that'll be a wake-up call. But what Will loves, I love Will, by the way. This guy's incredible. He's simply incredible. He's, I believe he's known as like the Mineral Man. He's a very good person. Anyways, what we are going to be putting together on our website as quickly as possible is where anybody out there that wants to order a hair test, whether it's you just started MasterPeace or not, because it's always good to do this every 6 months if you can afford it and be able to see how your body is shifted, because a hair test is going to show you if you're mineral deficient or if you're heavy metal load. So it doesn't just tell you your heavy metal load, it tells you your mineral, and that's a really, Will explain it much better than me, but he is making me a believer that if I could only get a blood test on the state of my toxin load, or if I could only get a blood test, a urine test, or a hair test, and I had to pick one, from what I understand, you would have to take the hair test if you could only take one. So anyone on our site, we're going to be building a page so that people can access that and order hair tests and be provided by the longest running awesome company. Yes, go ahead, Terry. I just seen your hand go up. Nikki, you cut me off. Go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
I was going to wait till you were done to make sure that you mentioned that he's going to be on the health call, the new health care.
Oh gosh, yeah, totally. Yeah,
okay.
Please, thank you. Okay, no. Yeah, I would have absolutely forgot that. So he is the most reputable, longest standing, most importantly, best intentioned, and not the kind of, and he's partnering with us. I trust him to be able to provide to people, because it's really, once you buy the test kit from him, it's really, we're out of it. He's going to tell you what you have. He's a third party. He's not part of our team per se, but and so we're going to be making that available. So real soon, guys, we want all of you to be able to know the state of affairs that your body is in, with how much heavy metals you have in you or not, and what's going on. And so look forward to that on our website as its own page. Will be on, isn't it middle of October, Nikki? Is it middle of October?
Yeah, he said a Monday was best, so I think it's, whatever the second
Awesome.
or third Monday is. And
okay.
So he's going to explain what the test is, why his are different. It's really important. I did not know this, that there's only a few labs in the world that do the test right. So I'm also going to be sharing my results, even though I didn't go with I didn't know him at the time. I went with just a high level lab, but I'll explain on the call why my test is not going to be 100% accurate. But he's going to look at the results. I'm going to share my results, and he's going to just explain a lot about himself and why the hair mineral tissue analysis tests are important. And he's going to be hopefully a regular kind of guest, maybe every other month or every third month, because he's got a wealth of knowledge, and him and I just jive really, really well. So we'll have him on.
Yeah, he is incredible. He is easy to talk to. He is passionate about helping people out, and he is passionate about teaching people how to monitor their own health. That's what we want to do. We want to provide the right type of support to get these. We're in a day and age where we got to get the toxins out. We got to have something that's safe and works good. And we also got to teach people the correct way to monitor their health, because as we've learned, every time we turn around and start researching for ourselves a new topic, lo and behold, we didn't learn it right. It's been lied to us or whatever. And so, you know, we're having to all learn how to be our own doctors, right? Not the Hippocrates or whatever. I don't know. I'm probably totally wrong right now. Said something like, you know, the man that lets another man be his own doctor is a fool or whatever, you know. So, all right. But he is out of the UK, so I know that whatever day that is on the holistic health call, it would have to be a little bit earlier in the day because it's a lot later in the day for him. So we are right now moving into what human consciousness support is. There's 3 things we've done that no other company has done. Number 1, we tested the levels so that they were tested and proven to prove that graphene oxide exists inside of the human body. There was plenty of talk many months ago, whether it was real or not, or any of that stuff. So we've proven that it is in us. Now, obviously, with everything that's been seen with live blood analysis, it appears with live blood analysis that no matter who it is in the world, it's impossible anymore to take anybody's blood, no matter how healthy they are, and there not to be any graphene oxide. So that means it's inundating us. It doesn't matter if you've only been COVID jabbed. It appears that if you're breathing the air on planet Earth, you have graphene oxide in you. So the cleaner the diet, the cleaner lifestyle that you have, the better, but it isn't 100% avoidable. All right. The more of that stuff that's in you, the more that it is paramagnetic, which means reacting to electromagnetic waves, which means they can change the electromagnetic waves from one frequency to another and start playing with you like a robot. So when you get too much graphene oxide in you, it appears like they spent trillions of dollars to cyborg us, transhumanism, the whole agenda. We already know that. So we proved that the graphene oxide levels exist, and then we proved that MasterPeace, 10 drops a day, gets out about 80% of it in 90 days. So if you take our baseline numbers, which were 509, 509, and 223 on the initial pilot study, and then where they ended up at, which I know one of them was 66. But if you add up the numbers, the graphene oxide was actually an 80% reduction. I think a little more than 80%. That's incredible. So that's the second step. And then
you're going through something, right?
No problem.
Okay.
And so that was the second step. We first proved graphene oxide is truly a problem. We need to concentrate on it. Then we proved that we have a solution to the pollution and to the graphene oxide biosystem. The next thing we're going to prove is that it works. And this is the way we're going to do it. We're doing a full-blown published study. We're going to have multiple witnesses, multiple video views. We're going to be pulling in all different types of people in this study, all different types of walks of life, jab, not jab, you name it. And we're going to show these people's MAC address, their unknown address, which is their MAC address. There'll be several camera angles, witnesses, as we've already, we're within weeks or less of starting the study. Then we're going to put these people on MasterPeace. As we already know from taking our old test subjects, and we see all these test subjects, we've actually gone into London, and we've gone all on the outskirts of London with the BLE scanner. Download the BLE scanner. Get their paid prescription. The B as in boy, L as in Larry, E as in Echo, BLE scanner. And get their paid one. It's $4 or $5 a month. And then go turn that sucker on wherever you're at. Now you're going to see iPhone, earbuds, this, that, someone's car. It's very obvious when it's a JBL thing. But the ones that are unknown addresses, you can about count that those are people. So when you go into a field a little bit away from a road and a car drives in and you're like 50 feet off the road, and there's no MAC addresses, and all of a sudden you have a car one and an unknown address and one driver. And so we've done all kinds of testing for 2 days before we called our test subjects out into the field. We already know that the people that have been on MasterPeace no longer have MAC addresses. And once again, we're going to bet the farm with a smile on our face and a calm heart, because we know MasterPeace is going to turn off the MAC address. So the third big step we're going to do is we're going to show that their system that requires a connection, that MasterPeace disconnects it, which is ironclad proof in its full form. Now, any company or any product or any doctor or any group or any whatever you want to call them wants to tell you how MasterPeace don't work, just ask them, why don't they spend their time, instead of talking about this, why don't they spend their time doing their own studies and figuring out their own way to make sure their own products work and things like that, instead of preying on people's program vulnerabilities of just being scared too quick and stuff like that. Because that's what's happening out there. We're gonna see a full-blown attack. It's gonna keep getting worse. We see these people come in on our pages, guys. Guess what? Everybody's here taking MasterPeace. If you're taking MasterPeace, you're feeling great. If you've been told to come in here and you don't know anything about MasterPeace other than just say bad things, you're gonna say it don't work, give me a refund. And that's it. You're not gonna want to engage in a conversation. I know that much. So that's what we're doing on the study format. We want to do that, and then we want to put it in a documentary form along with some other crucial things that everybody has to be aware of, because we really have to get people who aren't normally health-minded consciousness, that don't normally care about too much other than trying to get to work on time, their stupid cup of coffee, and paying their bills with their Friday payment, and whatever else, and they're not concerned outside of that. We're trying to get these people to realize they need to take MasterPeace for their sake. Okay, so we're going to start moving into marketing. You're going to start seeing MasterPeace in other places. It's not our wording with a lot of it. We're just trying to get people to take MasterPeace. Okay. But
yeah, like we had 2 questions about like MasterPeace and COVID. So
Okay.
what would be like a real, like, mainstream way to talk about MasterPeace and COVID?
I don't know. I wouldn't think there is a mainstream way to talk about COVID.
Right. I mean, zeolite in the literature has antiviral properties, according to some papers.
Yeah.
But of course, that's just measuring how damaged is the system before and after treatment.
Yeah, when they're measuring viruses,
they're
when they're measuring supposed viruses, they're measuring dead cell protein fragments, and so it's a cell that's died, and then they're taking the protein markers. So of course there's going to be a lot less of that as the environment gets cleaner and healthier from taking zeolite or anything that's healthier. So it's going to show antiviral properties. That's why a million things have antiviral properties. Yeah. But no, that's yeah, totally. How there's so many different ways. There's so many different ways they're talking about. Okay,
right, like
have a shelf life.
Yeah.
So okay, so if you take super cleaned ocean water and take clinoptilolite zeolite, which has been in the ocean for ever since whatever volcano went on. They have been around for millions of years. Once we bottle them up together, how long do you think it's going to last? Billions of years. So I don't know how there is a shelf life. Now we have to put a shelf life. Some of the white label people, and because some of the countries, they want you to have a shelf life, so we have to put one. Yes, that's it right there. Yes, that's it. But okay, bottles that I've had for 18 months, guys, that I have left out in 100-degree cars for all summer long, a freezing barn where it's frozen up totally. None of it goes. The only thing that ever happens to MasterPeace is after about 3 or 4 months, the nanometer size zeolite begins to clump back up, which means it's not going to be quite as effective, just because some of the zeolite is no longer intracellular size. but that's uh, but that's it. There's no shelf life like all of a sudden it's not healthy for you or that's going to cause harm. If that answers the question. I see you, Jade. All right. So I wanted to do this as quickly as I could tonight, but I know we had to go over a lot. So just real quick recap, as quick as we can get it up, we're going to have a easy order button for hair testing where you will be referred over to Will Houghton and his amazing company. And from there, he will send you a send you a hair test or give you directions on, if you're in America, they're going to have to just take the hair test and you send it to the lab. Anywhere outside of the US, they have to send you a kit. And we have, which will be from, I have been in on now 2 very long strategy calls, and the documentary that they're going to be putting together, I think is going to rock the world and shake up the place, which is what we need. Mandy needs that. And then, again, so if there's any other questions, I see questions from time to time when people have a bottle and see some inconsistencies from a previous bottle. So if there's any other questions when it comes to that, send them up on our help at MasterPeace, or in one of our chat groups so that we can, if we didn't answer in full. MasterPeace for Pets is available. So if you're in Canada and you love your pets and you want to get some MasterPeace, I just want to reiterate, it's available. If anybody's wondering if there's any change with the formula for MasterPeace for Pets compared to the regular MasterPeace, no, it's formulated the very best for your pets. It's identical. We've gone over how we can expect that we're going to be protecting this affiliate system from different white label companies that are coming in. We don't want you to lose your people that you have because they can go get it and get it shipped a little bit quicker to them from one of our white label people who don't have an affiliate system. So that's why we're changing it up and getting the price for them at $57.99. And then we're also going to be offering it to people if they want to pay $57.99, but they won't do that more than once because we're going to find them an affiliate link. I can guarantee it. And okay. Thing I'm most excited about is a superfood, it's ancient superfood, but that's not going to be for me to talk about it. It will be talked about on the holistic health calls when the time is right. And that is going to be an amazing improvement for everyone taking MasterPeace consistently. It will give you all the minerals your body's going to need to uptake, all the space in your bodies that's been made available from the heavy metals. You're going to be able to get the greatest minerals back in you right away. So, all right. If there's nothing else, thank you for finding MasterPeace. Thank you for all of our energy and our time here. We're all equally important. And so to spend it here this evening, to go over these things and to be a part of this, we wouldn't be us without you. And thank you for whatever level of contribution you brought. And,
Oh yeah.
if you can feel my heart, it's as grateful as it gets.
Oh, pardon, brother. Yeah,
Yeah,
pets, and I've been wondering this week actually about this, and somebody just asked, pets and master restore. What do you think?
We're not looking at that yet. If we did, we would have to, how are you going to get the pets to take Master Restore?
Yeah, that's my big.
I'm thinking of this little kitten that we just got, and I'm thinking, how is that thing going to lick Master Restore? Okay. Right. All righty. Awesome.
I think the
guys.
app was called EBT, right?
The scanner?
The scanner for the Bluetooth, yeah.
BLE.
BLE.
Scanner.
BLE.
Get the paid version. Yes.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Oh,
Much
yeah,
love.
and the peace symbol, our peace symbol is the correct peace symbol.
Yeah, look it up, everybody. The one that used to face down was called the Death Rune. There was never a place at that bottom facing what they tried to tell us was the peace symbol. There's never hey, guess what? They've been using that since the end of World War II. Let's how peaceful has this planet been since World War II? I think nothing but constant war. Okay. So yeah, it's the correct peace symbol, and that's the human biofield inside of it. And it is meant to raise consciousness. We must master peace to raise human consciousness on planet. If we're killing each other because we have different beliefs, different religions, or any other reason, and we're blowing up our women and children, good luck on consciousness getting better underneath those circumstances. So the first thing we need to do is just have a little bit lift in consciousness, a little bit everybody feeling better, so that the people that would never send their sons or daughters off to war and only send us off to kill each other, we won't be so fooled and tricked by that. Every war, don't we find out later? We find out later that every war was started underneath a lie, right? Oh, we found depleted uranium, so we got to do this, or we blow up our own buildings and we say that's the reason we got to go start a war. Every war they find out later was made up from a lie. So, we got to stop harming each other. We love each other. We're not even like that. Men and women are not like that. We've been made that way. So that's our symbol. Our symbol is for the good, So, all right. Much love, everybody. Thank you so much for bringing in your best intention and consciousness into this group. And thank you for any ideas, concepts. Everybody, when you're looking at anything to do with this company, this product, or anything at all, we're striving to be the very best for all of us. Any ideas you want to send up, we love them. We're fully open-minded. We're figuring it out as we go along, right? We're just a bunch of regular, normal do-gooders. So, alrighty, guys, much love.